for the technical difficulty. We back in this though, man. Let's go.
All right, so welcome to the YouTube channel. This is Uncommon Shamans. The live special guest is a close personal friend of mine, Tuck Taylor. If anybody, they probably didn't hear the intro at all, so let's just redo it. Tuck Taylor is the founder and CEO of Beast Athletics. He's an alchemist by my standards. He's a human empowerment specialist. He's a young entrepreneur, and his gym's located in the greater Tampa Bay area. And the formula we're going to talk about tonight is a formula he created. It's his formula for success called Unleashing Your Inner Beast. So how you doing, Tuck?
Doing good, man. Blessed to be on the show, baby.
So when we give the people a little bit the background of like where you grew up and how you started becoming an entrepreneur and difficulties at first and the failures and successes you've had.
All right. Well, I'm from the Dunedin, Clearwater area. Went to high school at Palm Harbor University High School. Basketball. I'm a baller's life guy. I'm a hooper, so played a little bit of college ball. Played a little bit of semi-pro. Kind of got into the fitness industry right after I decided to stop playing basketball. Started my company, Beast Athletics. Went through a lot of hard times, kind of trying to find my niche in the industry. But it was through some, getting knowledge, talking with people like you and one of my mentors, Terry Ogborn, put me onto just a lot of knowledge about success. Used that information that he taught me and those tactics right, immediately, and literally went from something to nothing. Within a year of applying some of the mental tools that I was taught, I quadrupled my income. I went from having only 30 clients to over 200 clients. And things has been great ever since. It also kind of gave me the motivation to kind of seek out more information on how to manifest things. Me and you always have conversations about manifestation and turning ideas into actual tangible things and tangible experiences. This is probably one of the things we spent 3 hours on the phone one night talking about that's now coming to life, is that we're able to provide value for other awakened minds and even minds that need to be awakened. So I'm blessed to be on the show. Any questions that the people want to kind of type in and ask us, I'm willing to answer. Again, we're just here to provide value.
So a really great story you have is about your coach in college, where you were kind of just deciding to get into this field, and it wasn't really that big of a field at the time, right?
Right. So I graduated college back in 2006. So around that time, the whole CrossFit thing hadn't really hit yet, and my degree is in exercise science. So my coach was a real asshole. He one of those guys that was like a negative motivator. So if you hoop or you play college ball, at the end of every season, you have your meeting with your coach where they kind of talk about where you guys stand and what you need to work on and all that good stuff. So this was my senior year, going in and talking with this guy. And pretty much he told me, he's like, Tuck, you're not going to the NBA. You're not going to play professional basketball. What are you going to do with your life? I said, I'm majoring in exercise science. Like, what are you going to do with that degree? And at the time, I really didn't know. There wasn't too many options in the field back then. And so he was like, well, you need to, get a degree in liberal arts and make something of yourself. And I was pretty much like, fuck you. I'm going to continue to, do what's in my heart and continue to do that. And, 10 years later, it's 2016 now, we have we're the leading authority in sports performance in Tampa Bay area, as well as body transformations. We post more before and after pictures on our social media than any other company. We've trained over 130 Division I athletes, and we've trained over 30 professional athletes. So that's what I did with my degree.
It's funny. There's a documentary called I think it's called Bones Brigade. It's on Netflix, and it's Tony Hawk, and he's talking about how like at the time skateboarding really had it was kind of dead, and like the contests that they were throwing were like it was their own contest. Like they were the ones putting the money in. Not too many people were showing up, and like it was like, all right, they didn't see the future in it, but they stuck around with it because they loved it. And that's just how I feel like with your story pretty much just told. Like, you loved doing this, and you loved, you loved being able to help people. Have you noticed from being able to help people, how has it helped you?
One, it just feels awesome, and then that's really what I really tapped into, is just my emotions. I call that like my GPS system. So anything I do that I feel good doing, I can try to continue to do it. So one thing, you always hear people talk about the power of giving and giving back and all that kind of stuff. And it sounds cliche and all that kind of stuff, but once you really start to actually do it, one, it feels really good. And also, two, you start to create a little leverage. Once I do something for you, you almost feel entitled to almost do something back for me. And so it gets leverage. I've been able to do things that I haven't didn't be able to imagine to do. I just got done hosting a big time tournament over at Tampa Catholic. It was the Battle of the Beast All-Star Classic. It had 15 Division I athletes playing it. We had local celebrities judge the dunk contest. We had radio personalities calling the game. It was absolutely awesome. And had I not poured into the community and not, helped so many people, an event like that would be impossible, to do something like that. So, it created leverage. Also, like, again, it just feels great to give back to people. And, also I tapped into the power of just love. I love isn't this romantic thing and all that type of stuff. It's just making people feel great. So that's what I got into, like the whole before and after picture thing. I was one of the first trainers in our area to really start posting their results. And one thing that I noticed was that once you post those results and you sit back and you tag that person's name in there, you tag a bunch of other people they know in there, and you sit back and watch the comments, awesome job, you look great. Like, I put myself in that person's shoes. Like these people are feeling awesome right now, and that's what I dedicated my life to, is just giving back. And, my whole purpose behind my human empowerment specialist company is helping people realize the infinite power that lies within them. A lot of people just don't know how awesome they can be. And so you kind of teach them how to use their personal power. It clicks, they lose weight, they, get the job of their dreams, they get married, they do all these things that were once thought impossible for them, and now it's possible for them because they realize that they got to use their own personal power.
What are some with your program, Unleash Your Inner Beast? How have you seen? What are some of your favorite transformations so far? I know some of them are my friends, actually.
Right. So it's kind of ironic that we're doing this day. Alex Miller, it comes to mind. That's the first one. Alex Miller came into the gym about 60 pounds overweight. When I started my gym, I used to make, before you could even step onto the turf out here, you had to sit down and listen to me talk about unleashing your inner beast and human empowerment and how to really tap into your personal power. So my drive is results. So I made sure that I had to get rid of a lot of people's mental fat before they go out there and tackle the actual physical fat. And so I empowered their minds. So with Alex, he came in and kind of taught him some of the tactics. And his big thing is, he wanted to be in Hollywood. He wanted to be famous. Like, Kanye's his idol. So long story short, within about 3 months of training, Alex had lost 60 pounds, got his first six-pack. Those of you that know Alex, he posted a chest naked picture of himself pretty much every day that year for about a year. And he tapped into his personal power. And the reason why I say it was ironic because today he was just on national TV. At 10 o'clock today, he was on the daytime show, which is a nationally syndicated show. So things kind of came in full circle. I just got the chills too, bro, just thinking about this, talking about that. That's crazy.
Yeah, NBC, man, NBC doing it real big.
Yeah, man. So I'm proud of them. It's just amazing how one seedling of a thought can like manifest into reality, and how we can be the drivers of that.
That's why I called you the alchemist in the beginning, because you're really doing mind, body, and spirit work at the gym. It's not just physical.
Absolutely. Another one is, I gotta shout out my man PK Seneca Lewis. Lost 170 pounds at Beast Athletics. Same scenario. I had to tap into the mental fat a little bit, had to, explain to him that you do have the power to transform your body. And kind of like I took the information from my mentor and kind of ran off with it. He did the same thing. So it set him off on a path of personal development. And it was just great watching him physically transform right before your eyes. Wish we can kind of post a picture or something so people can kind of see it. But they can link up on my Instagram and we'll post some of those pictures. But the kid lost 170 pounds in a year and a half and went from 365 pounds flabby to 180 pounds solid. Like his arm, these are my arms. His arms are twice the size of mine. Like the kid is jacked. The kid is jacked. Not only that, he started his own company, Sheila Jeep Brewing. He's brewing kombucha. He's tapping into his, entrepreneurship spirit. We've hired him as a coach here, so he also coaches a lot of the classes. So it's been insane, bro.
And doing speeches at his church, right?
Doing speeches at his church in front of 2,000, 3,000 people. This guy was shy, like didn't really talk a lot, and now he's one of the main chatty Cathys at the gym, and he understands delivering value and the power of giving back as well. His main intent is to give back. If you ask this kid, what do I need to eat to look like you, he will give you a 20-minute dissertation on everything to eat and all that stuff. So he understands that, and we're blessed to have him in the gym. I'm blessed to have him as one of my good friends.
So from having all these clients, I mean, in the hundreds now, close to maybe thousands, what would you say is the biggest blockage from stopping people from unleashing their inner beast?
Like I said, it's that mental fat. It's not knowing that they themselves have the power to change themselves. I was just looking at the movie Spider-Man the other day. And one of the quotes in that movie is, with great power comes great responsibility.
I said that in the last chat, that same
really
quote. Yeah.
But here's my thing. I believe that quote should be in reverse. I believe with great responsibility becomes great power, because once you take responsibility of your situation, now you have the power to change it.
Yeah.
And that's why I truly believe. So he took responsibility. People when they finally understand that where they are right now is a result of their past thoughts, and that all they got to do is change their thoughts. They can change their circumstances. That there gives them the power to change their lives. And that's what happens. They start thinking better thoughts. They start pouring better things into their subconscious mind, and they're getting better results.
That's what I was going to lead into next about what can you give some tricks about how to trick your subconscious mind?
Yeah, so back to my meeting with my mentor Terry Ogborn. First of all, I was freaked out about this stuff a little bit. It was completely out of the realm of what I've ever been taught, But I started doing some of these tricks. He really taught me about the subconscious mind. He explained the subconscious mind. He gave me a quote from James Allen that says, "The mind can be likened like a garden, and whether cultivated or neglected, it must and will bring forth. If good seeds are poured into it, then good things will come out of it. But if bad seeds are poured into it, weeds will be produced. So pretty much you got to treat your mind like a garden. So if you put good things into your mind, good images, good auditory stimulus, you're around a good environment, and you continue to forge that, you're going to get good plants and flowers. But on the flip side, if you're around bad auditory stimulus, if you say bad things about yourself, if you watch bad things on TV and pour things into your subconscious mind visually, the ramifications of that is going to be bad things. And that's what pretty much what we teach. So it's almost a brainwashing technique. So one of the first tricks he taught me was the whole vision board thing. And if you're awake and if you watched the movie The Secret before, you understand what a vision board is. But I'll explain it. A vision board is you can use anything. You can use a poster board. You can use your phone, and it's putting a bunch of pictures and images of things that you want to come in fruition. So also put things in there that you're grateful for to make you happy. So one of the tricks I used when I was running my business out of a parking lot, 4 years ago, was I started putting pictures of a guy that owned his own gym. I started putting pictures of a new car. I put a picture of a Miami Heat basketball hat on there. We'll tell that story in a little bit as well too. But what happened was I started brainwash. My mom thought I was worshiping the devil. I stopped watching TV. I locked myself in my room. I'm literally flipping through my phone, brainwashing myself on all these images on things I wanted to happen. And to the Miami Heat hat. So the Miami Heat hat manifested into me going to the NBA Finals, sitting courtside watching my favorite player at the time, LeBron James, go against Kevin Durant in the NBA Finals with my dad. It was awesome for free. Didn't pay a dime for it.
Confetti.
Didn't pay a dime for it. What'd you say?
Confetti dropping on you.
Yeah, confetti. Oh, and then that led to me going to about 16 games during the LeBron James era in Miami, including when they won the championship against the Spurs. Got on the floor, got confetti dropped on me. Watched my idol at the time, LeBron James, deliver his Finals MVP speech. Surreal, bro, surreal. And once I really saw how things were manifesting, I became obsessed with pouring things into my subconscious mind. I changed a lot of the music I listened to. I changed a lot of the people I was hanging around. I became almost the driver of my stimulus. I stopped watching all the bullshit on TV. Never watch the news. Y'all never watch the news. Like, if you want to have crazy stuff happen in your life, watch the news. If you want to be afraid all the time, watch the news. If not, pour good things into your mind. It's a blessing that we have all this technology now. People right now are getting positive stimulus through this podcast that can actually change your life too. So it's all about your stimulus, folks. Like, make sure you're giving yourself the right stimulus at any given time. Even the conversations you have with people, that's stimulus. Don't sit there and talk about the accidental 19, US 19 for 45 minutes. Acknowledge it, move on, and then start talking about good things.
One of my favorites is the IG. Who you follow on IG?
Absolutely.
Conscious. We talk about this all the time, but I've never really heard anybody else discuss it. Who you follow is who you're putting into your subconscious every day. So if you're following some ratchet page, you know what I mean, you're gonna get some ratchet stuff.
Absolutely. Ratchetness is going to happen in your life. It's going to appear in your life. And people think it's not literal. Like, if I talk about a car accident, I'm going to go out and get in a car accident. But somewhere in your existence, you're going to see a car accident. It's going to show up somewhere. So it's better not to talk about those things.
Your positive thoughts hold more weight than your negative thoughts at the end of the day.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
People are so negative all the time that, that's all they're manifesting. I know a funny thing was, remember I sent you the picture of the Beast Athletics on like a huge LA Fitness style gym.
Yeah. That was crazy.
And then you had a couple meetings about franchising, right?
Absolutely. So imagery is everything. Imagery is everything. I remember on my vision board, I put a little basketball team on there. I'm a hoops fan, so it was like a high school basketball team on there. And what's resulted out of that is we pretty much dominate the basketball market in Pinellas County. Like, if you're a good player, you train at Beast Athletics. So we probably trained over 90 athletes, high school athletes, within the past 2-3 years here. And we just tapped into the middle school market as well. So we're doing our thing, and it's all through uplifting other people and empowering people. And I love teaching this stuff to the kids. You always hear, if I would have known this when I was your age, I would have blah 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 blah. So I'm giving them the opportunity to learn this at a young age and use it, and go on to do great things with their lives.
Yeah, because I remember all the little sayings you hear throughout your life. You're just like, oh, they're little corny sayings, but now
right,
they're all so true. Like,
you could be anything you want to be. You could do anything you put your mind to. Those are all true. Those are all true.
So, what do you think is lacking from the current fitness industry? Like, I know you go to a lot of seminars. You go to the top CrossFit seminars and everything. What do you feel is really lacking?
I feel with the onslaught of CrossFit and HIIT training, high intensity interval training, what got lost was kind of that's the yin. The yang got lost in that, which is the stillness, the quietness, the recovery, the mindfulness. And so one thing we just introduced to Beast Athletics probably almost a year ago now is meditation. Before every workout at Beast Athletics, we have our clients meditate for 3 minutes. And, you know, some of them take it serious, some of them don't. But what it does for them, it allows them to de-stress their bodies from all of the emotional stress, their wives, husbands, schools, their jobs, their bosses, before they come in here and add physical stress to their body. So it's a time for mindfulness, a time for gratitude, it's a time for them to, you know, put things in perspective and even, you know, get their mind ready for the workout. You know, so we meditate 3 minutes, and then when the lights come on, they're ready to boogie.
Didn't you also implement a recovery room?
Yes. So also too, again, you know, everything's about workout, workout, workout. You know, hit this wad, do this workout. You know, do this fitness challenge. So we also this year started a new in our one of our it's an old classroom we had. We changed it into a room called Beast Recharge, where our members go in. They do foam rolling. It's kind of a little bit of a fellowship room as well, and we just implemented yoga as well. So that's where a lot of our yoga classes are taught as well. So it's kind of a chance to like not beat up your body and kind of take care of your body.
I was listening to an interview today with Triple H from the WWF, and he used to just lift weights all the time, like a bodybuilder. And he got a new strength and conditioning coach. He had never had one before, and it was all about stretching and really recovering. And he said he's at 45 now. He said he's in better shape than he was when he was.
Absolutely. I recently just, you know, decided to get serious about that stuff too, after you know, years and years of hurting myself all the time. Is like really getting to one. You really put me on the meditation. You know, that's why I went and got the meditate and enjoy tattoo. I don't know if they can see that on there, but I really got into just being more mindful, and really taking care of my body and making myself more limber. You know, I don't want to be the bound gorilla no more. I want to be the supple leopard. I want to be flexible. I want to be able to, you know, do things without constantly being tight. So, you know, the yang of the fitness stuff, the hardcore stuff is just as important. So we really stress that here at Beast Athletics now, is making sure you take care of your body. You know, every Friday we have a workout called Feel Good Friday, where it's a recovery style workout, and at the end of the workout, we roll out and we do what's called mobility and motivation. So we put on some motivational stuff on over the loudspeakers, and people are rolling out their muscles, stretching, kind of getting out the kinks, as well as pouring good positive stuff into their subconscious mind at the same time.
Real quick, since you were really giving them a lot of information about the gym, tell them where it's located, the phone number, and I'll still put it in the description. We'll say it at the end again, but just.
All right, folks, we're located in the heart of Clearwater, Florida, right off of Drew Street, right behind Clearwater Toyota, across the street from Bright House Stadium. And you're gonna laugh at me, but I don't have our phone number memorized. So our phone number is 727-400-4785. So if you guys have any questions, if you guys want to have questions on memberships, you also can email us at info@beastathletics.com. info@beastathletics.com.
New site, right?
New site getting ready to come out, hopefully by the beginning of July. We got a bunch of different projects we're working on. You know, one of the ones we're kind of keeping on the wraps a little bit, but we've been booming, man. We've added, you know, probably 15 to 16 new members within the past month or so. You know, our sports performance programs are booming. You know, we're doing great things. I'm actually, you know, getting paid to go out and deliver my Unleash Your Inner Beast success formula. So I got a gig at a Scottish dance school coming up. I know it's kind of weird, but I'm doing it wherever they want to hear it, baby. Whoever wants to hear the success stuff can get it. And then in August, I'm at St. Petersburg College, delivering the same thing to a bunch of the young gentlemen that belong into a program that are kind of guys that were kind of at risk, that they give scholarships to kind of pursue their further education. So they're going to all hear the Unleash Your Inner Beast formula as well.
I forgot to mention this when we were talking about, you know, just the recovery and all that. Didn't you say one of the biggest things with a lot of the athletes is the imbalances, right? They don't.
Absolutely. Well, so like, you know, if that's one thing we're a little bit different from other sports facilities. You know, I say that we're a one-leg gym first. So, you know, the game of basketball, if I'm constantly shooting with my right arm, and I'm right arm dominant, that means I'm shooting with my right arm, and most likely when I do a layup or a dunk, I'm jumping off my left leg. So you find a lot of right-handed players that their left leg is extremely stronger than their right leg. So the first thing we do when we get athletes in, we try to correct a lot of imbalances, and then we add conditioning and strength on top of that. But we try to get their bodies balanced as possible before we start to really condition them, and it helps with their overall power output.
Which I think that's one of the bigger things that's missing too. And that's why I think it's very cool that your gym does that. Another thing, well, this is a huge thing. Diet. What's the easy tips you have for staying on a good diet? Some easy tips.
I mean, first for anything on staying on anything and staying consistent with anything is definitely outlining your goals. You know, if you outline your goals, that constantly keeps you honest on your diet. If you're not serious about your goals, if you're not constantly saying what you want and putting it out to the universe what you want, it's easy to fall victim of driving past the McDonald's and going through that drive-through, or going to a party where they're eating bad and partaking in eating the bad foods as well. So that's the first thing, is make sure you have very specific goals. After that, you know, one diet, I don't like really using the word diet, you know.
Die with a cross after.
You know, I hate using the word diet because diet sounds so short-term and short-lived. I like using the term lifestyle change. So one of the lifestyle changes that we promote here at Beast Athletics is actually the paleo diet. And Seneca, the guy that we told you that lost 170 pounds, we call him the paleo king because he actually had a corporate America job and quit that job to become a full-time nutritionist and really, you know, found the ins and the outs of the paleo diet. So we're real big on the paleo diet. It's all natural. It helps eliminate a lot of silent inflammation. It's not real restrictive. There's a bunch of things you can eat. There's a bunch of things you can't eat, but there's also a lot of things you can eat on the diet. So I said diet, but the lifestyle change. So again, you know, that's how you have to go into it, is thinking it as a lifestyle change and not necessarily as a diet. And I think that helps, you know, that helps set it off right there for you.
And with setting the goals helps you form the good habits, because if you're trying to stay in tune with the goal, you have to form a habit to get to that goal.
Absolutely. And one of our favorite quotes here is, first you form the habits, then the habits form you. So once you get yourself into a rhythm, one of our favorite books, Outwitting the Devil, talks about hypnotic rhythm. So once you get into a really good hypnotic rhythm to where you're eating good, you're working out, and you're almost not realizing it, that's when really the transformation happens. But a lot of people, you know, it's hard for them to get into that rhythm and stay in that rhythm. So, but once you get it, you know, you can't not do it. Just like tying your shoe. We are hypnotized into tying our shoe. I don't remember tying my shoes today. Do you remember tying your shoes today?
Nope.
No, it's something we do automatic, thoughtless, brainless, using our subconscious.
Actually, I think I did. I went skateboarding today, but yeah. But no,
so
it's unconscious mind.
Right, absolutely. So it's doing something so often and forging that so much that it gets embedded into your subconscious mind and becomes almost a subconscious action.
Yeah, it becomes unconscious almost, to where you're just
like
breathing. You don't even have to.
Absolutely.
You're just doing it. I was gonna say, what are some tips for because I know this is one of the hardest things. Gary, you're a big fan of Gary Vee.
Absolutely.
And it's probably one of the hardest things, most rewarding things. So what's some tips you have for someone trying to become an entrepreneur?
One, you know, Gary Vee says this all the time, is first self-awareness. You know, everybody wants to be an entrepreneur now. The market and the opportunity to be an entrepreneur now is so easy with, you know, Instagram and social media and just how accessible people are. But you first got to ask yourself, do you want to be an entrepreneur? It is not as sexy as it looks. We're talking, you know, 15, 16-hour days. We're talking sacrificing, you know, pretty much everything that you love. Like, you know, I love basketball. I know right now that the Thunder and the Warriors are on right now. But guess what? I'm grinding, baby. I'm grinding. So, like, that's one of the things. You have to be willing to sacrifice most of the things that you love to build something bigger than yourself. So first is just self-awareness, is realizing, do you have it in you to be that entrepreneur? A lot of people are better off being a number 2 or number 3 guy, because you want to be able to go to your parties and your bar mitzvahs and your baby showers, and you want to be able to have a family and have a wife and have a bunch of kids and take your kids to all that stuff.
Still get a
So
good paycheck, but you won't get crucified at the end because it's not, you're not taking the biggest risk because it's not.
right. And being an entrepreneur is taking the biggest risk, because you're putting it all on the line, you know. So that I guess my first step would be just self-awareness, is realizing, is that for you? Next is finding where your passions lie at. What is it? What would you do? They always say this: what would you do if money wasn't an issue? Or what is out there that you love to do that people need? So in my situation is, I love working out, I love fitness, I love helping people. People need fitness, people need help. So it works. It works as I'm solid in my role as an entrepreneur, because I have a entity that gives back to people, that people need, that people want. So that's the next step, is kind of figuring out where your passions lay and how those passions can help other people. Because you gotta like to do this, it's 10 o'clock right now. I've been up since 4:30. You have to like to do this stuff. You have to love this. I love it right now. There's nothing else I want to be doing right now but empowering people and helping people realize the power that they have within them. So you have to find out what that is, and sometimes that takes getting away a little bit. You got to get out in nature and be able to kind of listen to your voice, your inner voice, and listen to your heart a little bit about what it is you really like to do. And sometimes, just like in 2006, this wasn't hot. Nobody had gyms like this in 2006. So being able to just follow that passion and take that big step forward and that leap of faith into some industry or some craft or some passion of yours, and then eventually that's going to make you money. My mentor, Terry Ogborn, he always said, follow your passion and your passion will make you money. But you got to follow that passion. You can't, a lot of people get wrapped up into money so early that they go away from their passions just to make money. And once you start to really make money, if you're not in your passion, you realize money isn't everything. I wish everybody can really go out and just be rich real quick and make a lot of money and realize that money isn't everything. Because then you get to the point where you're like, all right, it's time to give back. It's time to do what I want to do. But everybody's trying to go out there and work 80 jobs and do odd jobs and stuff that they don't want to do because they're trying to make money. But once you get the money, you're still not happy.
Yeah.
So what's awesome is being able to do something that you love to do, help other people out with people that you want to do it with. Seneca's one of my best friends. I get to work with my best friend every single day. Me and you do a lot of stuff. We get to do a lot of projects together, and we make money. We make money. We impact people. We have a great time. So I'm living out my inner legend right now, bro, and it's awesome. It's fun.
Yeah, I think one of the things is that people think these celebrities or just people with these millionaires don't have the same problems that you have.
Oh, absolutely. I've met some of the most unhappy rich people in my life. We have a lot of people at our gym that are millionaires or well off, that have a bunch of companies, and some of these people are miserable, Mike, miserable. And it's like, what? And I look at them, I'm like, man, that sucks. You have all of that and you're still unhappy. So money isn't everything. To me, doing what you love is everything. With who you want to do it with, on your own terms, is everything.
Like I might be wrong on the numbers because this was a while ago, but the CEO of Starbucks, I was like telling people like, how much do you think he's worth? And people were like, oh, he's definitely a billionaire. Like maybe I want to say, I'm gonna fudge the numbers because I don't remember, but it's 4 billion. They say I think he's worth. And I was telling somebody, I'm like, what number do you think that is on the list of the top billionaires? And they're like, oh, 50 maybe? I'm like, he's like 381. So
Right.
He's probably, I'm poor. You know what I mean? He's probably hanging out with people that are worth 100 billion. And I'm feeling poor.
Yeah, it's perception's everything, man. Perception's everything. And to me, it's like, if you don't have a mission behind making all that money, you're going to end up being materialistic with it and blowing it anyways. That's why all the people that win the lotto end up broke. You know, money without a mission is materialism. So if you don't have a mission behind the money you're making, you're going to end up going broke. You know, I put in the money I get from Beast Athletics goes right back into Beast Athletics, goes right back into projects. What else am I going to spend it on? You know, like it goes into continuing to build a business and build an awesome business.
What was the quote? We were at the concert, the reggae concert, and
oh man, you should have told me this before. I forgot what it was. But you said something deep. I remember, and I wrote it down. It was something like, if you don't have a vision, or if you don't have a purpose, you end up becoming a mindless consumer. So the people that don't have passions and don't have dreams are the ones that are going out there and think they need to buy Jordans to make themselves feel better, or they need to go out and have 3 cars and live in a mansion to fulfill themselves. And once you get those things, I used to be the same way. I used to buy a bunch of Jordans, but you buy them, they sit in your closet, and there's no fulfillment there.
Yeah.
So like you're thinking you're doing something by, you know, by getting these objects, but you're not really fulfilling yourself. You're wasting money.
And it's like, there's a quote that said, you can love people, but you could only like things.
Right.
You could only
Absolutely.
love. The shoes can't give you love back.
Absolutely. And where your money should really go towards is education and experiences. You know, building knowledge and getting out and seeing the world and experiencing different things with different people. Like that's what's truly valuable. One of my great experiences that kind of where I found my passion at was my internship I did in college. I worked at a camp called Camp La Jolla, which is a fitness camp, but let's be real, it's a fat camp. It's a fat camp. Yeah. So, but it was to this day, you know, this is back in 2006, the best summer of my life. You know, I really found myself out there. I found the value of giving back. You know, I had the pleasure of helping about 6 or 7 young men, you know, lose 30 to 40 pounds that summer, and to see how much empowered they were, to see their swagger kind of kick in, to see them with the confidence to go in there and, you know, rap with a girl and try to get a little, you know, because camp is all about getting a girlfriend. Let's be real. Camp's not about camp. Camp's all about hooking up. So to see these kids like step to their first girl and get their first number and all that stuff, like that was priceless, bro. Priceless. So, you know, it's all about experiences. So, you know, that's where your money, that's where your efforts should go to, is experiences and education.
That's a good segue to probably the best topic I think we're going to discuss tonight: sexual transmutation.
Oh man.
Because this is the one that not too many people are really discussing.
Right. So I first got hip to this by my mentor Terry Ogborn, and also from a book we both read called Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill, where it basically explains that, you know, sex, you know, when we have an orgasm, that's one of the biggest energy consumers of our body. They say that and digestion. So when you eat and you digest, those are the 2 things that take up the most energy.
And it creates life.
Right, it creates life. So it has to be, you know, very powerful
thing in the entire world.
Absolutely. So what sexual transmutation is taking that sexual energy and putting it into your craft. So that same energy you would use into having sex, you put that into your craft. And what you really find out is, and it says in the book, is some of the most people that are high up in the world are some of the most horny, but they take that energy and they put it into their craft. That's why you see, you know, fucking Tom Cruise jumping on the couch, and, you know, Will Smith has all this energy. These guys are practicing sexual transmutation. They're not busting nuts. They're taking that same energy and putting it into the next blockbuster movie, putting it into a book, putting it into a business, putting it into a craft, putting it into transforming your body. You know, that's where that energy should go. I believe where we've been through media, through, you know, stuff that we put in our subconscious, that we think we need to have sex a lot more than we need to have it. Every commercial has cleavage. Every commercial has a woman in it, that if you buy this car, you're gonna get this woman. That's kind of the message that they're selling out there. So the music we listen to, oh my goodness, you know, it's sex. My girl got a girlfriend, threesomes, foursomes, moresomes, all this stuff. That's going into our subconscious mind, and we're walking around horny, and then we end up giving away our energy, literally giving away our energy all the time. So that was one of the things I had to do, is I had to get my act together on that, and then stop chasing the females, and really hold in all this sexual energy and put it into my craft.
And to go a little bit deeper, when you're doing, if people that follow the chakra system, it's coming out of the root chakra, the bottom chakra. So you're staying low. You're not really going up higher. And lust is one of the 7 deadly sins.
Absolutely.
Which I think is one of the main things, 7 chakras, 7 deadly sins, that is holding people back from really achieving the Godhead status, because you get caught up in all these things.
We pay the prices for our vices, man.
And we both have experience on the sexual transmutation, so we could talk
Absolutely.
about experience. And it definitely is real for the people that are wondering. I mean, it definitely, I don't know how deep you want to go into it, but you said just recently, you felt the effects.
Oh, absolutely. I don't want to put my personal business out there, but kind of tested the waters a little bit and seeing how I felt afterwards. And you're extremely tired, you're lethargic. Even a couple of my members were like, you all right, Tuck? Because I wasn't myself. And so you feel the effect. You literally are giving away your energy. Now, there are some that argue it really depends on the person who you're giving your energy to. They should be able, if you're with the right person, they should be able to give you energy back.
Yeah, it comes from a frequency of love and not just lust.
Absolutely.
Well, you hear these songs, it's not about love, it's about lust.
Right.
There's in the occult world, Aleister Crowley was a really big occultist, and he was all about sexual magic and all that. But he would do it based on, he would do it with the wrong stuff. He was into hookers and all this type of stuff. And they said that ultimately is kind of what drained his life energy and took his life. But he was able to, because as we were saying before, the act of doing this is very magical. I mean, you can do
absolutely.
It. So there's there's a process called edging, even, where they work themselves up. Or you have a story. You know a story about this. Actually,
I've heard of baseball players. I won't say the names of the actual baseball players, but I heard that they would take Viagra's, watch porn right before the game would start, work themselves up sexually, not bust, and then go out and then play the games of their lives, because they kind of held in and they kind of built up all that energy. So there is a lot of power and not doing that. So, and I feel for some of the kids that grow up in this era, because the access to sex and all that kind of stuff is readily available. You just pick up your phone, you hashtag something on Instagram, and you got boobs in your face, you got naked women in your face. For the girls, they got naked guys in their face. So when we were growing up, we had to kind of like look through the squiggly lines on the porn channels that our parents didn't have. So we thought, I think we see a nipple, but these kids actually have it in the flesh right in front of them, and it's very, very dangerous, and they can get caught up at a younger age. And that's why you see kids, having sex at a younger age, as young as middle school, and sometimes even in elementary school, experimenting with it, is because what they've poured into their subconscious mind when nobody's watching them. And that's where parenting comes in at. You got to really control your kid's stimulus growing up, because if not, the stimulus ends up parenting your kids, not you.
Yep. And that's why I wanted to bring it up, because it's not a topic that we hear really anybody talk about. I mean, me and you are watching podcasts all the time.
Right. And you know what? And I even, I had a group of middle schoolers probably about 2 months ago that I actually talked to them about it. And, at that age, they understand, what that stuff is. And I as awkward as it was, I feel like it was very impactful at the same time too. I kind of was able to give them justification, because most time parents say, well, don't do it, just don't do it. They don't give you a real reason why, you know. So when they don't give you a real reason why, that makes you even more curious about doing it. But when you give them a
that's
reason,
why Aleister Crowley started to begin with.
right? Almost like do it experimentation. You know, hear people they experiment with sex. You don't experiment with sex. You know, that's giving so much energy away. Especially when you do it at a young age. You know, when we both have friends and stuff that we came up with that got caught up in there, and you know, might have got somebody pregnant at a young age and couldn't really go and fulfill their inner legend because, you know, now they have a kid and all that kind of stuff. So there are the ramifications and stuff that come along with that, but also just we talk about the energy level and the vibrancy that you lose when you do that all the time. So
for people that want to like even just do some Google, do some research, most boxers before their fight, no sex at all, because
absolutely
takes away your legs immediately.
And what a tactic is in NCAA now, I'm friends with a lot of NCAA basketball players, and, you know, I train a lot of athletes, is that let's say you're Duke and I'm Kentucky. What they'll do is Kentucky fans girls will start to hit up some of the players on Instagram and social media, send them naked pictures, say, hey, come hang with me before the game, and try to get these guys to drift and have sex before the game, because they know that's going to take their legs away from them and take their energy levels and take their focus away. It's very, very important to kind of be aware.
Getting crazy out there.
What'd you say?
I said getting crazy out there.
Yeah, man, it's wild, wild west, man. It's the wild, wild west out there. If you're not, you know, one image I always put into my subconscious mind. I love it. It's the image of Malcolm X. He's like an AK, and he's standing by the door. It's by any means necessary. Usually the quote says by any means necessary, and that's literally how I try to guard my mind. You know, if I'm not letting anything in my mind that's gonna cause me to, you know, drift into something that's going to cause me to be unsuccessful. So I'm constantly, you know, surveying and mastering, you know, my stimulus to make sure that at any given time I'm doing something, listening to something, talking about a topic that's going to move me closer to my goals.
I know from experience, from real life, I know one father who actually did teach his son this, and he said the son's pretty, you know, the son, he's hip to a lot of this stuff, and he was talking to me. He's 15. I think he's 16 now, and he said all his friends were making fun of him because, you know, he had some girls naked and he didn't do nothing with them.
Right.
This kid is smart. He goes, my dad taught me I'm not going to release this energy. I'm not going to be disrespectful with it. And I won't say any names, but I mean, the kid's sponsored by Nike now. He's going to be a star. So it shows that, you know, if you're not just throwing this stuff away, you are keeping your power. You can become powerful.
Absolutely. There's value. There's a lot of value in holding that in. You just can't give that to anyone and anybody in all the time. So yeah. Mike, can we move on from sexual transmutation? We've been talking about this for like 10 minutes, man. Let's move on. Let's move on.
It's an important topic.
No, it's good. You know, and you're right. You're right that a lot of people have not really heard it explained that way and talked about that way, and I hope that some of the listeners out there kind of understand, you know, where we're coming from on there. We're not
totally against it. I mean, we're not totally against it. But it really is only from.
And we talk, you know, me and you slip up time to time or whatever, you know, and whatever. But we feel, as soon as we start doing it, we feel it. We feel the lethargy. We feel, you know, us not moving ourselves closer to our goals. So,
and only through a cult study did I ever hear the topic discussed. So I just wanted to drop it here because you are one friend that actually listened and practiced this. So, well, yeah, we can move on. How would you say just implementing meditation in your life every day, how has it impacted your life?
Oh man,
everyday life.
You know, I like to go back to some of our conversations. Me and you kind of lost touch for maybe like a year or so. Or not, that wasn't that long, maybe like 6 months. And then we linked up and we were talking, and you know, things were pretty hectic in my life, and I was, you know, on go. and you were like just
I was on
chilling.
slow, 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 so slow.
Yeah,
I
you
was super on
slow, 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 slow. I was like, man, like,
we were the yin and the yang.
yeah. So I was like, how do you like still, how are you so happy and how are you at peace when you don't, you're not constantly trying to do this and that and forge this and forge that? It's because you were just enjoying. And part of your brand, when one of your to me your best shirt that you put out is the meditate and enjoy shirts. And that's what really prompted me to go out and get that. So our conversations about meditation and mindfulness allowed me to really find myself. And one thing meditation does too, to me it's like some people with their thoughts in their day is kind of organized like a dirty garage. You ever seen somebody that has like a garage that's just messy? Like you just tell us a bunch of just old stuff in there. And that's kind of how I treat meditation. I kind of try to organize these thoughts in my head, these voices in my head. So I try to put them in their proper places. If there's right, there's something that's bothering me, I'm like, why does that bother me? That's not them, that their issue. That's my issue with whatever that person said to me. So I try to make amends and make peace with all those things and kind of organize them. And what that does, just like when you clean up and throws things out, it makes room for new ideas and brighter ideas and more stuff to kind of come into your brain that's useful now. You get rid of the junk and you allow for like new things to happen. I remember my mom, growing up, before Christmas, we had to like give away a bunch of our toys and give away a bunch of our stuff so we can make room for the new. And so that's kind of what I do with my meditation is, I figure out what I'm thinking about, kind of like watch it like cars going past and kind of see what thoughts am I thinking, what issues I'm going through, and try to organize them. If I gotta toss some stuff out, I toss it out. If I gotta, really dig in deep and figure out why I'm doing it, I do that then too. So I kind of, take a moment to be a little bit mindful of my thoughts. Also, gratitude. It's a moment for gratitude. Sometimes it's been 3 times this week where I wasn't meditating, but I just stopped and thanked like, man, like I own my own gym. Man, I get to work with people I like working. Man, I get to work out as part of my job. I thought about that today. We were at Philippi Park running the Indian Man. I was like, I'm working right now, but still bettering myself at the same time. This is awesome.
On the Indian Man.
On the Indian Man, running the Indian Man. It was awesome. Had a moment of clarity at the event a couple of weeks ago. I was like, man, like this is big time. All the media sources were there. And sometimes when you're go, 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 you don't have time to sit back and really appreciate everything that you are manifesting. And that's kind of the gift and the curse of all this knowledge is, you can let it get out of hand and try to do too much too fast and not really sit back and really appreciate and have gratitude for what you have. One of my favorite phrases on gratitude is gratitude's latitude. The more things that you start to be thankful for, the more things the universe is going to give you to be thankful for. It's a vibration level. So I'm constantly thankful. Seneca sent me a message today that was awesome that touched me a little bit, but I was like just thankful that I was able to impact his life and how happy he is with his life is like, that's awesome. The old Tuck would like brush that off and be like, all right, that's cool, but let's get back to this work. I really sat there and let that message marinate and be like, you know what? You're making an impact. You're changing people's lives, and you got to be proud of that, And meditation and mindfulness and all that stuff has helped me, just be more grateful for everything and everybody I got around me.
Hassan said on the last chat last week, he said, becoming anointed. He said at the end of the day, you realize and you're kind of a vessel out here, and you get to get anointed, and you get to fulfill these things you want to do, and you got to be thankful for it,
bro.
Because there's so many different ways your life can go, and
absolutely. And that's where gratitude really comes in. When you see the person you're walking and they have no legs, and you see how bad things really could be, you got to take a moment and thank whatever it is, your higher power, the universe, that they've blessed you with what you have. A lot of people focus so much on what they don't have and what they should be and what they could be doing, and don't take time to just really sit back and think about how blessed you actually are. You know, it's a blessing just to be on earth. You know, it's the chance of a woman getting pregnant is very, very, that whole process is so delicate, and there's so many things that can go wrong. And the fact that you made it and you're here, you know, that's a blessing in itself, you know. So, you know, that's how you got to sit back and think. And to me, one of the best times to, you know, sit back and think about gratitude is first thing in the morning. You know, when you wake up in the morning, sit back and just look around. You know, I look at my apartment. I remember not too long ago, you know, being in my parents' house and, you know, not even having my own car and all that kind of stuff. And now, you know, been blessed with so much. Is like you gotta sit back and just thank God, thank the universe, thank your higher power for everything that they've been blessed you with, and then go about your day, and then try to, you know, continue to do different things.
That was a big question I was on a lot of interviews I was listening to. It was like, how do the first 90 minutes of your day go when you first wake up? Like, what's your routine?
So you're asking me?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you know, I usually get up depending on what time I gotta work. You know, if I gotta open up at Beats, I'm up at 4:30 in the morning, and like, I wake up, and it's immediately gratitude. You know, I'm looking around, I'm thanking the universe for everything I got. And then after that, I usually try to listen to something motivational or positive. You know, start my day off on a good note. After that, if you ever go to my apartment, I look like a serial killer because my mirror, my mirror in my my mirror in my restroom has probably about 60 to 70 affirmations written on it in marker. I can't really see myself anymore in my mirror, but I go and I read all of my affirmations. And one of the crazy things about affirmations is that, you know, a lot of the things on my mirror that I write are things that haven't come into fruition yet. But just seeing them and saying them every day, they slowly start to become true, you know, and they slowly start to become a part of your life. So, you know, it's, you can call it brainwashing, call it whatever, but I take time to really read everything on my mirror, and it sets off my, you know, I leave the day focused, and I leave my house empowered. Um, Days I don't have to work early, you know, I usually also do something physical. So I'll get out, I'll go do a little cardio, I'll knock out some push-ups, try to get my blood flowing, and try to get my day started on the right note.
Is there anything else you could think of that you want to discuss tonight? Because I think we hit like the hour mark.
Okay, that went by fast, bro.
Yeah.
You know, we can go about 2-3 hours, man. You know, some of our phone conversations have been crazy. You know, before we get up, you know, I want to personally just, you know, on air, you know, thank you personally how you impacted my life. You know, I'm 33. What are you, 26, 27?
27, yeah.
27 years old. So it's like, you know, age ain't nothing but a number. You know, you got a lot of knowledge, bro. And you know, I'm proud of you, what you've done with your brand and how far, you know, you've come as a person. And I value you as a friend a lot. So I really appreciate you. I appreciate you having me on the show, and appreciate you having me as a friend. I know if I have any idea or anything, I always can run it past you. And you're a straight shooter. You'll be like, Tuck, that shit, or Tuck, that's fucking awesome, bro. Like, let's ride with that. You know, so I appreciate your honesty. I appreciate any kind of new knowledge you get. You're ready to share with me. You put me on to a lot of stuff that I've used to empower myself and empower other people with. And you know, I just want to give you your flowers right now.
Appreciate that, man. Thank you. You already know. You are one of, I tell everybody I talk to, everybody I talk to knows you if they haven't met you. You know, that's why I had to get you on here. And you are one of the hardest working people I know, and you are one of the people that I think when you give knowledge to people, most people, it goes in one ear, out the other ear. You're one person that I know that does put everything into action, and that's one of the best traits I think anybody could possibly ever have.
Yeah, that's wisdom. You know, wisdom is applied knowledge. So it's one thing to have the knowledge, but the next step of that is actually applied into your life. So, you know, and the main reason I do that is because I see the results. You know, and that's too why I love my job, because, you know, giving somebody knowledge on health and nutrition, they put that into action, they see the physical transformation. And so that's how things are. So once you see physical transformation off of just knowledge, now you get other knowledge, and then you apply that, and you get other transformations. You get financial transformations, you get mental transformations, you get environmental transformations. You go from being in one place to another. So I see the value of applying knowledge, and also empowering other people. To me, a true leader is a person that brings up other leaders. You're not always trying to be the man. You're not always trying to, be the one that has the shine. Like, I love that at Beast Athletics, we have so many leaders within our community. We have Seneca, we have Coach Raymond. Shout out to all my coach. Can I get a little shout out time right now?
Go ahead.
Let's do a little shout out time. First, shout out PK again, bro. You already know, man. You already know what it is. I appreciate everything.
We'll get him on here, because there's an option where we can get like four people popping up at a time. So this is only the first stream of many.
Okay, absolutely. We definitely gonna have to get some of these guys on the show, and Seneca is definitely one you probably want to get on here and just have him talk about his transformation. Shout out to Coach Ray for holding things down at Beast Athletics. Shout out to my parents. My parents have been very, 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 very helpful, and helping me grow as a man, especially my dad. Seeing my dad go through some of the things he went through, and making out of that, and seeing how powerful his mind has become. My mom's always been ultra supportive of everything that I've done. So shout out to them. Shout out to the other staff at Beast Athletics, Kendra, Cam. We're getting ready to get Stacy involved in here. Shout out to you guys. Without them, man, there is no Beast Athletics. I made a decision, 4 years ago to build something bigger than myself, and it's great to have great people a part of something that's we're a positive force in the community. So it's great to have other people that are helping drive this monster, this beast.
Yeah, I definitely want to speak. I want to speak for a lot of people that are my friends and people that I know from I have been a member at the gym. Everybody wants to say thank you. You know what I mean? You have helped a lot of people, man. And I want to give the address out for people for the gym. It's 22043 US 19, Clearwater, Florida 33765. The website is beastathletics.com.
Already?
You have the phone number ready? I could pull it up. It's
727 400-4785.
And then I'm gonna put everything in the description as far as social media. But it's
another shameless plug at the end. We just started a YouTube show as well. It's called Inside Beast Athletics.
I'm gonna put a link to that because it's a good show. And shout out to our friend Diaz.
Oh man, I forgot to shout out Diaz, man. Diaz is an alchemist himself too, man. Like, he makes a lot of things that start up here come into life and change a lot of things. So
he's a wizard for sure.
Absolutely, man. That's number one player on the team right there. Shout out to Demetrius Diaz and Grind Route Graphics, man, for holding it down for us, man.
And then I think we can end on a good note for this has been live stream number 3. We're only on number 3, and it's only going to get better. And I'm going to have Tuck on again.
Let's go. I love this stuff, man.
Yeah. All right. So thank you everybody for tuning in, and we'll see you again probably next week.
Hey, real quick, let me shout out my social media handles too. You can find me on Instagram at beast_athletics. We're getting our Snapchat swag together, so find us on Snapchat.
That's
Beast Athletics as well.
He's a pretty good snapper.
Yeah, we like snaps. You kind of get a good vibe on kind of the things we do at the gym and the people at the gym. We got some of the best people as members in this place, man. We got some of the most positive people, most helpful people. So shout out to all the members too at Beast Athletics, man. I love you guys. Thanks for supporting the brand. Thanks for representing the brand the way you guys represent it. And the future is very, very, very bright, man. We got a lot of great things in store, and can't wait to manifest more shit, man.
All right, thank you, everybody.
All right, peace out, man.